All right, hello and welcome. Today we're going to play detective. We're diving into this really fascinating personal story. It's all about solving a mystery of chronic pain, weird skin issues, and a culprit that was hiding in the one place you might not think to look, your food. So let's just get right into it. The whole thing kicks off with this personal detective journey, right? It's all about trying to connect the dots, between these health problems that seemed totally random and just would not go away. And that's really the big question, isn't it? What on earth connects a sore shoulder to an itchy wrist? I mean, on the surface, they have nothing to do with each other. But as we're about to find out, our bodies are, well, they're one big interconnected system. All right, so let's set the scene. This is before any of the answers started showing up. All we have is a pile of really frustrating, totally unexplained symptoms. Okay, so picture this. For years, there's this nagging shoulder pain, right? From some old injury that just would not heal. At the same time, there's this crazy intense itch on the wrist, right where you'd wear a watch. But here's the weird part. You look at the skin, and there's nothing there. No rash, no bite, zilch. And the craziest part? It was always worse at night. So after years of just hitting dead ends, the case finally gets a major breakthrough. And trust me, it came from a place nobody was expecting. And boom, just like that. The moment gluten was cut out of the diet, completely, that shoulder pain that had been around for over 2 years, it just vanished. And that crazy itch on the wrist? Gone. Poof. Like it was never even there. Suddenly, we had our number one suspect. Okay, so if gluten was the trigger, what was actually happening inside the body? What was the crime scene? How could one thing, one single culprit, cause two totally different problems in two totally different parts of the body? Well, the answer is something called systemic inflammation. And it's a pretty simple idea when you break it down. Your body isn't just a bunch of separate parts working on their own. Nope. It's one big connected system. So a problem that starts in one place can send out these little alarm signals, these ripples of inflammation, absolutely everywhere. And I love this analogy. It makes so much sense. Think of it like this. There's a fire smoldering down in the basement of your house. That shoulder pain and that itchy skin, they're not two different fires. They're just the smoke from that one fire in the basement seeping up and showing up in different rooms. So what is this smoke in our analogy? Well, it's carried by these little messengers called cytokines. These are basically tiny little inflammatory proteins just cruising through your bloodstream. When they happen to land on a weak spot, like a tendon in your shoulder, boom, you feel pain. When they reach the sensitive nerve endings in your skin, you guessed it, you feel an itch. All right, let's get our magnifying glass out and look even closer. How exactly does eating something like gluten light the match that starts this whole inflammatory fire in the first place? It all comes down to this key player, a protein called zonulin. Now, for a lot of people, when you eat gluten, your body releases zonulin. And you can think of zonulin as this little troublemaker, a master lockpicker for your gut. Its whole job is to run around and jimmy open the doors between the cells in your intestinal wall, doors that are supposed to be locked up tight. And this kicks off a whole chain reaction. It's like a row of dominoes. Step 1, you eat something with gluten. Step 2, your body releases that little lockpicker, zonulin. Step 3, zonulin gets to work opening up the gates in your gut wall, which creates a condition people call leaky gut. Step 4, little bits of undigested food sneak through those open gates and get into your bloodstream, where they are not supposed to be. And finally, step 5, your immune system sees these intruders, freaks out, and basically sounds the alarm, flooding your entire system with those inflammatory cytokines we were just talking about. Okay, so that explains the what and the how, right? But there's one more piece to this puzzle we need to solve. Why on earth did the itching get so much worse at night? Well, it's all about your body's internal clock. See, during the day, your body produces a lot of cortisol. Think of cortisol as your body's own natural anti-inflammatory, like a built-in fire extinguisher. It keeps that low-grade fire in check. But at night, it's totally normal for your cortisol levels to drop. And when that happens, the fire extinguisher is gone. The inflammation is unmasked, and those areas are left totally exposed, super sensitive and, well, incredibly itchy. So we followed all the clues, we've identified the main suspect, and now we get to the most important part of all of this, how you can become your own detective and figure out if any of this applies to you. And the method couldn't be simpler. It's a personal experiment. Just 30 days. That's it.
It's a really clean, straightforward way to get the best data you possibly can because it's coming directly from your own body.
So here's the game plan. For 30 days, you're going to eliminate gluten. Completely. No cheating, no exceptions. And your only job is to pay attention. Just observe. Does that nagging ache in your knees start to fade? Does that weird rash finally clear up? Your body will tell you everything you need to know. Oh, and here's a little bonus tip. If you do have that nighttime itch, try putting Summon Cool on it. It can be a huge relief when your natural cortisol is taking a break. Really, the biggest takeaway from all of this is to listen to your body. Don't just dismiss those little signals. You know, those quiet aches and pains that you might just chalk up to getting older? They might be more than that. Think of them like the check engine light on your car's dashboard. It's a sign that something deeper, maybe in your gut, is asking for your attention. Look, in this detective story, the answer was gluten. For someone else, it might be dairy or corn or something totally different. That's what put out this specific fire. But what this whole journey really shows us is that we have the power to be our own health detectives. So the final question really isn't about this story, it's about yours. What's going to put out your fire?